Swimmers, please clear the pool. The warm-up is now closed.
Since '06 was on the bottom, now we running this. Grind hard when the load gets heavy. The money was slow, but now it's steady. You boys is not ready.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The sun's shining. It's a beautiful day, and we'd like to give you a very, very warm welcome to Toll Cross. It is day 5, the final day of the British Paraswimming International Meet 2016, and what a day we have to finish off proceedings here. My name's Dave Rogers. I'll be your announcer today, and I would like you to give a huge, huge Toll Cross welcome to the man stood to my left, the commentator, Paul Noble. More than a polite ripple today, Paul. 5 days in, and they still absolutely love you. Now, we've got a great day coming up, but let's reflect for a minute. Day 4 yesterday, we saw some special performances in that pool.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. We had some of the world's top performers in the pool yesterday, and they did not disappoint. Started off with the 200 freestyle. Bethany Firth and Jessica Jane Applegate, both under the qualification standard. A new world record for Bethany Firth, improving her own mark. Could it get any better? We thought, well, we had 400 freestyles coming up for men and women. Ollie Hind, the world record holder, just 0.3 of a second outside his own world record mark. But what about Ellie Simmons? She hasn't broken her own world record since 2012. The final of the Paralympic Games, she did it right here last night in Toll Cross. Absolutely superb.
She certainly did 2 world records, taking the level up to 5 for the championship. 4 British swimmers breaking world records here at Toll Cross, and everyone in the pool today in the 50-meter freestyle. And then we have the individual medley heats as well. Lots of action still to come, ladies and gentlemen. Swimmers in the pool in less than 10 minutes. We'll speak to you all again shortly. Do not go anywhere. Could the owner of the red Honda Civic registration M77CRA please report to reception as your window's open and it's triggering the alarm?
Elizabeth, you want to come in and...
Looking good. 10 seconds.
How much?
Good morning, Toll Cross. I'm Alicia Dranicki, and what a morning we've got ahead of us. Now, I'm here with one of your commentators. You usually hear his voice, Paul Noble, 15 medals, MBE. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. It's been a good week so far.
And what we want to know is, when do the team actually get selected?
Well, this is the qualification trials. It's the only opportunity that swimmers have got to post the times for selection for the GB team. We've seen 21 achieve those standards so far, but they're not quite guaranteed yet because the selection meeting hasn't taken place. It takes place later this week, and the team will be announced on the 16th of May. Very exciting time for these GB swimmers. Some very nervous swimmers waiting for the result of those selection processes.
We're all excited about that. Now, you've been in the Paralympics 5 times. Can you tell us what that experience is like?
Well, they were all kind of very different. There were different places all over the world. Fantastic experience. The big difference is that it's a multi-sport event. It's very, very similar to the Olympics. There are a number of sports that you don't actually see. There are volleyball, athletics, tennis, everybody lumped in together, everybody trying to get the big prize, which is that Paralympic gold medal. Fantastic experience for anyone who makes it. I would thoroughly recommend it.
Of course, all eyes on the prize. Now, we'll be hearing your voice all morning, but for now, a big cheer for Paul Noble, everyone.
Thanks, Alicia.
5 minutes away from the action getting underway here then, ladies and gentlemen. We kick off things with the 50-meter freestyle women's competition. And Paul Noble, you've actually, from camera to the commentary box, you're back here, Paul. Let's have, actually, it's all action for you, isn't it? Constantly on the go. But it's all about the swimming now. As I said, less than 5 minutes away. Loads of heats today, loads of action, and the 50-meter freestyle, non-stop, exciting racing start to finish.
Absolutely. It's going to be quick fire here in the 50 freestyle. And we have a number of record holders to watch out for. A number of the swimmers trying to make those qualification times. We saw last night, although we saw some records last night, we saw some swimmers just miss out on those qualification standards that they are looking for. So got another chance today, the final chance, of course, 50 freestyle to start with. Let me move on to one of the quite interesting events, the individual medley. All the strokes come into play in this individual medley. Things can change about as swimmers go on to their specialist strokes, and it's always quite an exciting event, the medleys. And of course, we've got the 150 individual medley to finish, which is an event which is specific to the Paralympic program. We've only got one swimmer in that, Lyndon Longhorn, but he's getting used to swimming on his own, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. We saw him earlier in the week in the 50 meters. He won the gold medal there. He set the British record, and he'll be back in the pool all on his own later, and he'll need your support, ladies and gentlemen, as every single one of these swimmers will. As Paul said, this is their last chance to reach the qualifying standard for those Rio Paralympic Games. We've had 20 swimmers so far, which is a pretty good return considering the standard expected of them is so high, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. That is what the swimmers are trying to do, and 20 of them have stepped up to the plate so far. It's going to be absolutely exciting today at Last Chance Saloon for a lot of the swimmers. I'm sure they are up for it, but they need everyone's support here in Tollcross this morning.
They certainly do. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to play your part. Firstly, on Twitter using the hashtag BPSIM, but right now we need your support in the venue to clap, to cheer, and to get these swimmers to the times they need. And we will start by getting a big cheer from you to please welcome our officials to the pool deck. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the referees for this morning's session, Tony Ward and Christine Golightly. And the starters, Martin Noble and Kevin Patterson. Officials, you may now be seated. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are under a minute away from the action. I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready for some fast swimming? That's what we like to hear. That's been the good luck charm. Every time you've responded like that, we have had miraculous things happening in this pool. The first event is the women's 50 meters freestyle. And I'd like you all up on your feet as loud as you can to welcome these swimmers to the pool deck, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, up we get. It's early in the morning, and you're going to make the difference to every single athlete in this pool. Are you ready? That is what we like to hear. I can still see some of you guys on the end towards the 50-meter mark. Come on, up you get out of your seats. We're all waiting for you. Everybody in Tollcross ready to clap, shout as loud as you can to welcome the athletes to the pool deck for the first event of the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise and welcome to the pool, the athletes for the women's 50 meters freestyle. Heat number 1. Underway in the first swim of the day then. Heat number 1 in lane 2, Sophie Woodward. Lane 3, Charlotte McGuinness. Lane 4, Genevieve Hunter. Lane 5, Katie Moss. And lane 6, Leah O'Connell.
Well, the first of the 7 heats underway in this 50 freestyle, one length of the pool. Multi-classification event as well. And a number of classes represented here. S8, S7, S6 and an S3 classification. Very tight contest here. Looks like lane number 3 now. I'm sorry, lane number 6, possibly Leah O'Connell. And lane number 4, Genevieve Hunter, in fact, first to the wall, 45.13. With Leah O'Connell in 2nd position, Katie Moss in 3rd, followed home by 4th position, Charlotte McGuinness. But it is a multi-classification event. The points you can see on your scoreboard are how close the swimmers are to the world record for their classification. The swimmer with the lowest numerical class is Sophie Woodward from Nova Centurion. Let's give her a hand in. Entry time of 1:27, and she has smashed that. Look at that, 1:20.80. What a great start from Sophie Woodward of Nova Centurion. We saw the British record holder Fran Williamson tweeting in from home a couple of days ago, and she will be pleased to see Sophie Woodward swim so well.
She certainly will, and there are the official results then. Katie Moss in first place, 377 points. Leah O'Connell, 331 in second, and Genevieve Hunter, 298 points in 3rd place in heat number 1 of the women's 50-meter freestyle competition. Heat 2. In lane 0, Georgia Howell. Lane 1, Holly Pinder. Lane 2, Jasmine Stagg. Lane 3, Seren LeConte. Lane 4, Samantha Lewis. Lane 5, Anna Binns. Lane 6, Catriona Chung. Lane 7, Sally Phillips. 8, Laura Pilkington. And in lane 9, Charlotte Hyde.
Just gone past halfway. A really close contest, this one. Looking good though. Seren LeConte from Caerphilly. In lane number 3, she has the edge over Anna Binns from Orion. And it looks like Seren LeConte is going to come home first here. Entry time of 43.58, and that is 38.68. Massive, massive chunks taken off the times in the first 2 heats here. And LeConte from Caerphilly, the only swimmer under the 42nd mark, and that has earned her just about the highest points total. It's close though between her and Catriona Chung from Leicester Penguins.
Well, Seren is the Welsh word for star, and she certainly was a star in that race. 5 seconds off her personal best for the swimmer from Caerphilly as we await the final results here in heat number 2 of the women's 50-metre freestyle. And there it is, Seren LeConte, 423 points. Catriona Chung, 412 in second. And Georgia Howell, 368 points, takes 3rd place in 50-metre freestyle heat number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just remind you, please, no flash photography. Heat 3. In lane 0, Adele Maguire. Lane 1, Isabel Dean. Lane 2, Ella Cooper-Holmes. Lane 3, Megan Russ. Lane 4, Levana Hansen. Lane 5, Fabian Andre. Lane 6, Aaliyah Bachacola. In lane 7, Rebecca Franks. Lane 8, Olivia Pickering. And in lane 9, Lily Rice.
Oh, really, really tight here. Wow, this is a close race here. Levana Hansen going well. Coming into her stroke there in lane number 4. Also going well in 7, Rebecca Franks from Gainsborough. It's between these two. Levana Hansen maybe will get that one, 38.41. Not much in it at all. The S8 swimmer from Gloucester. But it is Ella Cooper-Holmes with the highest points total. She was the lowest numerical classification in an S7. And she is the first swimmer to be over the 500-point mark. So, good standard there, set by Ella Cooper-Holmes. And of course, the highest points earners, the 30 highest points earners, will go into that final this evening, or one of the finals this evening, Dave.
Yes, they will, and 506 points is enough to win it for Cooper-Holmes. Levana Hansen, 483 in second, 426 points for Adele Maguire in 3rd place. In Heat 3, and now it's time for Heat 4. Heat number 4 in lane 0 from Shrewsbury, Portia Jones. Lane 1, Keris Jones. Lane 2, Katie Crowhurst. Lane 3, Molly Hopkins. Lane 4, Drew Stables. Lane 5, Tessa Marcos. Olivia May Cameron in lane 6. Lane 7, Rebecca Lewis. Lane 8, Annalise Burgess. And in lane 9, Maisie Summers-Newton.
Well, he's getting faster, but they are all very, very close contests so far. Looks like lane number 5, Tessa Marcos from France. The S14 swimmer will take this one, 33.84 for Marcos. And she is followed home by Drew Stables, 35.27. The highest points total is one of the swimmers in the outside lane there. That's what we got to watch out for. It's not necessarily the swimmers who touch the wall first who gets the highest points total. The result is confirmed, and it is Maisie Summers-Newton from Northampton who is top on points, 708 points.
Well, those scores and those times getting quicker and higher. Maisie Summers-Newton, the first up, over 700 points there. Molly Hopkins from Neath, second, 555. And Olivia May Cameron, 545 points in third place for Mount Kelly. Now it's time for Heat 5. In lane 0 in heat 5, Maya Briscoe. Lane 1 is empty, and in lane 2, Tony Shaw. Lane 3, Abby Kane. Lane 4, Lily McLeod. Lane 5, Stephanie Millwood. Lane 6, Megan Richter. Lane 7, Bethan Eckley. Lane 8, Eleanor Bamber. And lane 9, Eleanor Robinson.
Well, we're into the seeded heats now. The fast swimmers in these final 3 heats. In the centre lane, Lily McLeod, swimmer with a visual impairment. She finished that pretty well, Lily McLeod, 30.14 for the Richmond Dale swimmer. And an S13 swimmer, she's followed home by Stephanie Millward, who had a very good swim in the 400 freestyle yesterday. Millward in 30.69, and Eleanor Robinson. That was a very good swim for Robinson there in the outside lane. And again, she features in the top 2 points totals. Already a qualifier in the 50-meter butterfly, that time achieved 36.24. Good time for Eleanor Robinson. Slight improvement on her entry time.
Big scores as well. 847 points for Millward in first. 836 for Eleanor Robinson in second place. And Lily McLeod scores 750 to take third. Heat 6. In lane 0, Harriet Dickinson. Lane 1, Amy McFarlane. In lane 2, Beth Johnston. Lane 3, Rebecca Redfern. Lane 4, Alice Ty. Lane 5, Amy Marin. Lane 6, Emma Cattle. Lane 7, Fionn Butler. Lane 8, Susie Rogers. Lane 9, Grace Harvey.
Well, Alice Ty and Amy Marin in the centre lanes. We're hoping for good swims. They haven't achieved those qualification standards yet. This week, they're headed by Rebecca Redfern, who has, in the 100 breaststroke, a good swim from Redfern. 30.36 to get in ahead of Amy Marin and Alice Ty. 30.99 and 31.08. And the British record holder, Susie Rogers, in the S7 class, 34.62 for Susie Rogers. A big point score for Rogers.
One heat remaining, and we have the confirmed results on the board. Amy Marin, 823 points. Susie Rogers, 763 in second. And Rebecca Redfern takes third place with 733 points in that, which was heat number 6 in the women's 50 meters freestyle.
Yeah, so some good performances so far. Let's see what the final heat can bring us. Some big names in this one. We can move on now to the final heat, Heat 7.
In lane 0, Rachel Tweedy. Lane 1, Henrietta Scheutner. Lane 2, Kira Shepherd. Lane 3, Stephanie Slater. Lane 4, Hannah Russell. Lane 5, Zara Maluli. Lane 6, Abby Hampshire. 7, Coral Farrell. 8, Hope Gordon. 9, Cara Smythe.
Well, Hannah Russell has been on fantastic form this week. British record holder, world champion, 27.22 is her British record, and she has equaled that British record. Absolutely spot on for Hannah Russell. Well, inside the qualification time, and she has tied with her own British record, 27.22 for Hannah Russell. Well, that was an excellent swim, and let's just look at some of the other swimmers as well, because Stephanie Slater, the European champion, in a time of 31.29, also inside the qualification standard. So 2 excellent swims there, Dave, inside the qualification standard for both.
Absolutely, that is what we like to see. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. 2 swimmers in that final heat, reaching the qualification time required for Rio. A brilliant start to the morning's proceedings here. We have the summary of the results up on the screen now. The top 30 from those opening 7 heats will go through to this evening's finals to have another opportunity to reach the qualifying standard and maybe even get on the podium to get the gold, silver or bronze medal. But now it is time for the next event of the day. Please welcome the athletes for the men's 50 meters freestyle. Heat number 1. Well, following those 2 brilliant swims from Stephanie Slater and Hannah Russell, it is time that we started the men's 50. And this is heat number 1. In lane 3, from Bournemouth College, we have Leo McCrea. And in lane 5, from Durham City, Lyndon Longhorn.
Oh, Lyndon got some company today. He swam a couple of races on his own earlier this week. And he has got Leo McCrea from Bournemouth College in lane number 3 for company in this one. An S5 swimmer, Lyndon Longhorn. An S6 swimmer, Leo McCrea. Again, they are gauging themselves against the world record for their particular classifications. Good swim from Leo. He comes in improving his entry time, 41.08. And Lyndon Longhorn, 43.12. In second position in that heat, but the highest points total. So 406 points for Lyndon Longhorn. We see the point scores go up towards that 800, 900 points range as we get into the swimmers who are world record holders or very close to that world record standard. So we'll see the points totals ramp up as we go through the heats here. A number of heats to enjoy for the men, though. 9 heats.
Yep, lots of swimmers in the pool here in this men's 50-meter freestyle competition. And now it is time for Heat 2. In lane 0, Benjamin Rutherford. Lane 1, Owen Woodrow. In lane 2, Luke Batty. Connor Freeman in lane 3. In lane 4, William Holland-Levens. In lane 5, Nils Rem. Lane 6, Ethan Naisbitt. Lane 7, Braden Scott. Lane 8, Zach Washington Young. Lane 9, Maximilian Tulloch.
Well, good fast start there from Niels Ream in lane number 5. Connor Freeman also going well. The two youngsters in this one, just 14, 15 years of age, and they're in together. Just 8/100 separating them there, but the best finish did go to Connor Freeman. 34.93 for Connor, 35.01 for Niels Ream, and again, big improvements from these two youngsters there in these early heats.
It's been a real characteristic of these championships, the young swimmers rising to the occasion and setting new personal bests. So let's take a look at the results. Holland-Levens there, 392 points is enough for first place in Heat 2. Nils Ream, 370, takes second. And with 347 points, Connor Freeman takes third place in men's 50-meter freestyle heat number 2.
Yeah, Holland-Levens was in the center of the two youngsters as one of the more experienced men swimming in that heat. And although he was behind the two youngsters on either side of him, he came out on top on points.
So he did 392. Was enough to take the lead in that second heat. But now it's time for Heat 3. In lane 0, Finley Middleton. Lane 1, Matthew Harding. Lane 2, James Brown. In lane 3, Matthew Clowes. Simon Pradanovic in lane 4. In lane 5, Alexander Goodman. Joshua Fruin in lane 6. In lane 7, Scott Hadley. Adam Donaghy swims in lane 8. And in lane 9, William Perry.
Well, blanket finish in prospect here as they come into the final stages here. Lanes 4, 5, maybe lane 2 in the mix as well. Pradanovic, Goodman, James Brown. It's very tight indeed. That has got to be the closest race we have seen in all of the 5 days of these championships. And it does look like the touch has gone by 1/100th of a second to James Brown from Orion there, the S9 swimmer in lane number 2. But my goodness, well, let's just see that around about half a second separating, what, 6, 7 swimmers?
I was just looking at exactly that. The results are up on the board now. Brilliant racing here at Toll Cross, but confirmation that Matthew Harding from Wirral Metro scores the most points, 508, 486 for Pradanovic in second, 482 for Goodman in third. But brilliant, brilliant racing in 50-meter freestyle heat number 3. Heat 4. In lane 0, Alexander Taylor. Lane 1, Andrew Mullen. Lane 2, Lachlan Macbeth. Lane 3, David Makin. Lane 4, Benjamin Granger. Lane 5, Connor Boyfield. Lane 6, Lewis Beagrie. Riley Shanahan in lane 7. In lane 8, Grant Taylor. Lane 9, Dominic Redpath.
Well, we're probably looking at the high points total for Andrew Mullen in lane number 1, the lowest classification in this race, but again, a very tight finish in the center. It is Benjamin Granger who gets the touch, to the delight of the Isle of Man fans who have been here all week, with that red flag just opposite us here. 31.89 for Granger. Conor Boyfield, 32.35 in fact, it's not David Macon in second, Conor Boyfield in third in terms of the touch. But as expected, it does look like Andrew Mullen will have the highest points total, 35.92 for Andrew Mullen. And that's a decent points total, 703 points. He'll be hoping to go faster in the final. Andrew Mullen, as we said yesterday, an up and down week. Some excellent swims for Andrew Mullen.
Yes, and just that one, not quite so good one, we'll call it, but the results are up. Andrew Mullen confirmed there, a great 703 points for the Ren 96 man. Grant Taylor from Cockermouth, 574 in second, and Conor Boyfield, confirmation there, 469 points in third. Heat number 5. Heat number 5 then. In lane 0, Aaron Maddox. Lane 1, Connor Lockwood. Lane 2, Henry Fletcher. Lane 3, Mathis Daniel. Lane 4, Jack Baker. Joshua Monaghan-Coombs in lane 5. Lane 6, Isaac Dunning. Cameron Verncombe in lane 7. Nate Allen Dover, lane 8. Liam Walsh, lane 9.
Jack Baker going fantastically well here. What a great start that he had in lane 4. Taunton Dean swimmer is in first in 29.50 for Jack Baker. And that's a big improvement of 2 seconds for the S9 swimmer from Taunton Dean. Under the 30-second mark, he's the first man to be under that in the heat so far. In second position in terms of the touch, it was very tight. Joshua Monaghan-Coombs, 2 100ths ahead of Mathis Daniel. And in fact, Cameron Verncombe it was ahead of those two. So Verncombe from Carradon in second position.
Yep, just 13 years of age, Cameron Verncombe. He's had a very busy week and he swam well too, but Jack Baker knew that time was quick. The moment he touched back, because he had said, snap back to look at the time. And that was a brilliant swim from the man in lane 4 in the black cap, Jack Baker. But confirmation of the results in the heat then. Jack Baker from Taunton Dean, a brilliant 618 points, takes first place for him. Monaghan-Coombs from Saxon Crown, 510 in second. And Mathis Daniel, the Frenchman, 490 points, takes third place in heat number 5 of the men's 50-meter freestyle. Heat 6. Christian Buchanan swims in lane 0. In lane 1, Caleb Grace. Kyle Hughes in lane 2. In lane 3, Andreas O'Shea. Lane 4, Jack Sheffield. Lane 5, Arthur Morley. Joshua Wells in lane 6. Jacob Leach, lane 7. Andrew Keeler, lane 8. Peter Davis, lane 9.
Another very, very close race. Look at that swimmer just with the use of one arm there. Andreas O'Neill, the Austrian, is in the mix here, but I think it's going to be Jack Sheffield or Joshua Wells will get that one. It is Joshua Wells, 29.58, and he is under the 30-second mark, as is Jack Sheffield. And Andreas O'Neill in, well, third, fourth position behind Jacob Leach from Cockermouth.
Some close times and some close scores there. Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Wells, 572 points in third. 586 for the Austrian. Andreas Onea is enough for second. And a great swim from Cockermouth's Jacob Leach. 596 points. He wins heat number 6 in this men's 50 freestyle. We have 3 heats to go here before we move on to the next event. Heat 7. No swimmer in lane 0, so in lane 1, Jackson Simmons. No swimmer in lane 2 either, so in lane 3, it's Jack Bridge. Lane 4, Stephen Clegg. Lane 5, Ryan Crouch. Lane 6, Joseph Craig. Lane 7, Craig McNeil. Lane 8, Thomas Brown. Lane 9, Gareth Orr.
Well, can we see anyone look for the qualification standard? Stephen Clegg and Ryan Crouch in 4 and 5, maybe close there. 25.76 for Stephen Clegg and 26.37 for Ryan Crouch. And I can tell you that Ryan Crouch's time of 26.37 is inside the British record time and inside the qualification standard. Ryan Crouch, the S9 swimmer from Team Ipswich, 3 100s inside the British record, 12 100s inside the qualification standard, and that was a superb swim from Ryan Crouch, and he is delighted with that one.
Delighted, and rightfully so. Confirmation of the results then, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Clegg in 3rd place, Joseph Craig 7:46 in 2nd, and 865 points, a new British record and a qualifying standard for Ryan Crouch. Heat 8. In lane 0, Tom Piggott. Oladaisi Adefisan in lane 1, Benjamin Fulston. Lane 2, lane 3, Michael Goody. Lane 4, Sean Russo. Lane 5, Matthew Wiley. Jonathan Eek in lane 6. In lane 7, Louis Hines. Liam Spence in lane 8. And Ellis Underwood in lane 9.
Well, Matthew Wiley in lane 5 has just seen his British record go in that previous heat. Can he respond now? And Wiley is in a time of 25.96, and he can respond because that is faster again for Matt Wiley. 25.96, a new British record and another qualification standard for Wiley.
Well, we've said it time and time again, these rivalries within the team, Paul, they're just spurring each other on. Brilliant results. What a swim from the man in lane 5, Matthew Wiley.
Well, he saw his British record go in that previous heat to Ryan Crouch, 26.37, but my goodness, 25.96. That is a massive British record time for Matthew Wiley.
Let's have a look at the results then. Adefisan, 662 points in third. Sean Russo, 687 points. And Matthew Wiley, 907 points. A qualifying standard time and a new British record. Heat 9. The final heat, Heat 9, in Lane 1, John Law. Lane 2, Lewis White. Lane 3, Luke Reason. Lane 4, James Clegg. Lane 5, Kahoru Harazawa. Lane 6, Sol Bressett. Lane 7, Oliver Carter. 8, Adam Karras. Lane 9, Matthew Redfern.
Well, James Clegg, Paralympic medalist in lane number 4, trying to achieve the standard of 24.42, and it's 25.53 for James Clegg. Just 0.3 of a second outside his own British record there. He's followed home by Harazawa, 26.07. And next is 27.21 for Sol Bressett of Jersey. In fact, 26.91, sorry, Luke Reason in third position.
While we await confirmation of the results, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all of the swimmers in the 50-metre heats this morning. 2 British records, 4 qualifying standards met. We'll just have a look at the results of that final heat. James Clegg, 730 points in third place. 787 was the lead score. But Paul, what a morning. Great swimming. As I said, 2 British records as we look at the summary on the board and 4 qualifying standards across men's and women's.
Yeah, you see the summary there. Those are some quality swimmers, all different classifications there. But Matt Wiley and Ryan Crouch trading British records in adjacent heats there. There's the summary for swimmers with 11 to 20. We go on to 21 to 30. And there will be 30 swimmers progressing to the finals this evening. So they'll get another chance to have a go at this 50 freestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pool deck the swimmers in the women's 200 meters individual medley. Heat 1. The first of 5 heats in this women's 200 meters individual medley. Then swimming in lane 0, closest to the stands from Bracknell, it's Katie Moss. From Littlehampton in lane 1, Georgia Howell. From Adwick in lane 2, Holly Pinder. In lane 3, from Shrewsbury, Portia Jones. Lane 4, Gainsborough's Rebecca Franks. The satellite swimmer in lane 5 is Samantha Lewis. Lavana Hansen from Gloucester swims in lane 6. From Mid-Sussex in lane 7, Fabian Andre. Laura Pilkington from Broxburn in lane 8. And from London Disability SC, Charlotte Hyde swims in lane 9.
So this 200 meters individual medley, 1 length butterfly, 1 length backstroke, 1 length breaststroke, finishing off with 1 length freestyle. So we should see a bit of a mixture here as the swimmers come onto their strong strokes. It's a good start there. Rebecca Franks in lane number 4 in the centre. Portia Jones in lane number 3 and Samantha Lewis in lane number 5. They are the leading 3. They'll finish this length of backstroke and they will go on to the breaststroke leg. Again, different classes in this one. S1 to 10, those with physical disabilities. So the lower the class, the more severe the disability. And we will need lots of shouting from the crowd here. I see we have some schools in, Dave.
Yes, we do. We're over the halfway point into the breaststroke length. And a very, very warm welcome to everyone who's just joined us. Let's see if we have anyone from Linlithgow Academy. Hey, Linlithgow, you were here yesterday, weren't you? Welcome back. You know what it's all about. You know that you're in a competition to be the loudest school, so we need you to set an example here to all of the other schools in cheering on these swimmers. Who is here from St. Rosalima Primary? A warm welcome to you as well. Hey, Paul, they were loud.
They were good. I like them.
Like those. A very, very warm welcome. And how about Windy Now? Have I said that correctly?
Windy Now?
Windy Now
Primary School.
Well, Windy Now Primary School, we need to hear from you because the first swimmers are going to be coming into their final length here, and you need to cheer them right to the finish. This is heat number 1 of the women's 200 individual medley. We're going to be keeping an eye on the scores. The highest points will make their way into the finals. So come on then, Windy Now, come on St. Rosalima, and come on Linlithgow, and everybody else here in Tollcross. Let's cheer these swimmers home over the last 25 meters.
Let's wave those flags. It's for Portia Jones from Shrewsbury in lane number 3. She is coming home ahead of the rest of the field. Her entry time was 3:43. Is she going to be inside that? She's well inside that. 3:31. Let's give her a big hand there. Portia Jones. That was superb. Rebecca Franks is the next one home in 3:41. And next it will be Samantha Lewis from Satellite in lane number 5, 3:49. She's followed closely by Lavana Hansen. Always a strong freestyler, Lavana Hansen. She likes the front row.
Well, Katie Moss is in lane 0. Will she be the next to touch? It's a good competition between her and Holly Pinder in lane 2. Then closest to us, we have Fabian Andre in lane 7, Laura Pilkington in 8, and Charlotte Hyde in 9. Big, strong finishes from them, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for all of the swimmers in the 200 individual medley, heat number 1, as we await confirmation of the results. Provisionally, Georgia Howell's 386 points is going to be the top score. The top 30 will go through into the final later on, the 3 finals, should I say, later on this evening. Confirmation of the results then. Katie Moss, 323 points in third, 328 for Portia Jones in second, 386 points for Georgia Howell in first place. And confirmation there that in lane 8 there is a disqualification for Laura Pilkington. Heat 2. Away we go in heat number 2. Please welcome the swimmers from Marple in lane 0, Rachel Tweedy. From Brighouse in lane 1, Aaliyah Bajacola. Maisie Summers-Newton from Northampton is in lane 2. And from Plymouth, Annalise Burgess swims in lane 3. Molly Hopkins in lane 4 from Neath. And in lane 5, Eleanor Robson from Northampton. Ren 96's April McKee swims in lane 6. And from Rhondda Cynnon Taff in lane 7, it's Rebecca Lewis. In lane 8 from Neath, Keris Jones. And finally from Team Ipswich in lane 9, Elise Martin Della Torre.
Well, first to the wall, Eleanor Robinson. She's a swimmer in lane number 5. She has a form of dwarfism, and she is a cracking butterfly swimmer. We saw her earlier in the week set a qualifying standard for the GB team for Rio in the 50 meters butterfly. She's been caught now when they get onto the backstroke leg. Well, these schools have picked their winners here for this one in terms of who's going to touch the wall first and also who gets the highest number of points. Always a good competition to have, Dave.
Always brilliant. In fact, we want you to pick a lane right now. Which swimmer do you think will be getting the leading points at the end of the race? Remember, because this is mixed classification swimming, the first swimmer to finish the race isn't necessarily the swimmer who will win the race. That is the swimmer with the most points, which is on the right-hand side of the big board. You'll keep your eye out for it at the end of the race, and we'll announce it for you so you know everything that's going on. So come on then, everyone. Let's get behind these swimmers. They're in the breaststroke length. They're over halfway here. The lead swimmers have got just 75 meters to go. 75 meters until they know how fast they've swum and if they are going to be in with a chance of making the final later on today.
Well, let's see if we're going to get a close finish here. Molly Hopkins looking good. The swimmer from Neath in Wales. Annalise Burgess coming back there right next to her in lane number 3. Also going well is Keris Jones, another Welsh swimmer there. The Welsh doing very well here. 2 swimmers from Neath here are going to go in very close to the lead there as they go with 50 meters to go. It is Neath first, Neath second, and Plymouth third.
Yes, the Welsh swimmers out in force. Another brilliant Welsh word for you, Paul. Bendigedig. That means excellent. In fact, let's try and teach that to everyone. Bendigedig. Every time you see a brilliant performance from a Welsh swimmer, you can think that. But of course, we are in Scotland. We are in Tollcross, and it is the final day of the British Paraswimming International Meet 2016. So let's get behind these swimmers. The first swimmer nearly back. 5 meters to go. And let's see how the swimmer from Neath does. 450 points. 312.90 is the time for Molly Hopkins in lane 4.
It was 3:12. That's a big improvement. So keep those cheers coming. It's obviously helping these swimmers to very good times indeed. 312.90 for Molly Hopkins, 450 points. Maisie Summers-Newton, 682 points. But look at that score for Eleanor Robinson, 712. Wow, very, very good. The result isn't confirmed yet, but it is now, and we do have a disqualification. April McKee, unfortunately, has been disqualified, swimmer in lane number 6. But the points for the top 3 confirmed as Eleanor Robinson, Maisie Summers-Newton, and Elise Martin de la Torre. 712 points, the highest points so far.
Heat 3. Swimming in heat number 3 of 5 in lane 0 from Hoddesdon, Grace Harvey. From Incas in lane 1, Cara Smith. Coral Farrell swims in lane 2 from Warrington. And Harriet Lee in lane 3. In lane 4, Chloe Davis. From Swansea Aquatics, Claire Cashmore from Wyre Forest goes in lane 5. In lane 6 from Worcester, Rebecca Redfern. The German swimmer in lane 7 is Henrietta Scheutner. From City of Cardiff in lane 8, Bethan Eckley. And Grantham's Hayley Milne swims in lane 9.
Chloe Davis there first to the wall there, 33.67. And Harriet Lee in second position. Well, these are some of the top swimmers in Great Britain here. Let's give them a big cheer, schools, as they come past you. Chloe Davis, she went to the London Paralympic Games when she was only 13 years of age. So a real youngster at that time. She's only just 17 now, so Chloe Davis out ahead. Can the young swimmer do a time which will be good enough to achieve the qualification standard for the Rio Paralympic Games? We'll wait and see.
Another brilliant performance from a Welsh swimmer here. Chloe Davis from Swansea Aquatics reaches the halfway point in 1:11.19. But it's gone a little bit quiet at Toll Cross, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's show some support. Some would say that the breaststroke length is the most difficult, Paul. What do you think the hardest stroke is in this individual medley?
Well, the breaststroke one is the slowest stroke. You spend most time on breaststroke, so anyone with a good breaststroke event will be very, very strong in the 200 meters individual medley, and that's what Harriet Lee has just done. She has caught up Chloe Davis there, and Chloe Davis is going to try and go ahead of Harriet Lee. Let's give them some encouragement as they come back here, schools. Look at this. What a fantastic race this is between Chloe Davis and Harriet Lee. What a great contest. And it looks like Chloe Davis, the youngster, the swimmer from Swansea Aquatics, is going to come home in front here. We'll have a look at the time. It is going to be 2:35 for Chloe Davis and 2:37 for Harriet Lee. But a good, nice swim there from those two at the front.
Look at those scores, though. 7.46 for Davis, 7.97 for Harriet Lee. Claire Cashmore from Wyre Forest coming back in 672 as well. Rebecca Redfern, 2:45.56. It was a good race between those two in lanes 5 and 6 for 666 points. Over on the far side next to us then, ladies and gents, Bethan Eckley from Cardiff is about to touch back in lane 8. Here comes Scheutner in 7, and Hayley Milne from Grantham in lane 9 is about to touch back, as is the swimmer in lane 0, Grace Harvey. Put your hands together for all of the swimmers in Heat 3. Some great scores there. Well, some great pairings there as we have a confirmation as a disqualification for Coral Farrell. as the results are confirmed. Claire Cashmore 6.72, third place. Chloe Davis 7.46, second place, and a great swim there from Harriet Lee. First place in her heat, 797 points.
Move on now to heat 4.
The fourth heat then. Please welcome to the pool the swimmer in lane 0 from Italy, Catherine Oberhauser. Glossop's Elena Bamba is in lane 1. From Woking in lane 2, Zara Maluli. In lane 3 from Corsham, Stephanie Millward. UEA Norwich's Jessica Jane Applegate is in lane 4. And Amy Marin from Romford Town swims in lane 5. From North Ayrshire in lane 6, we welcome Abby Kane and Eleanor Simmons in lane 7 from Boldmere. Austria's Janina Falk in lane 8, and in lane 9, Drew Stables from Copeland.
Well, I'm sure the schools may recognise some of the swimmers. They'll certainly recognise Ellie Simmons going in lane number 7. Well, watch out for Ellie. She is the world record holder in this event. So, world record holder, we'll see what she can do. Jessica Jane Applegate, she is also the Paralympic champion in the 200 freestyle, trying to make another qualification standard. It's a big event for Amy Marin. She was the world and European champion a couple of years ago, Amy Marin. She's trying to chase Jessica Jane Applegate there. Keep an eye on Ellie Simmons as she goes through. Get behind these swimmers, everyone. Help them through now. Jessica Jane Applegate and Amy Marin trying to make those qualification standards for the Rio Paralympics. They need your help as they come past you there up towards the scoreboard end. Give them a big cheer. Give them encouragement, guys.
Well, you talked about world records there, Paul. It's a term bandied about, but just remember that when we say world record, the swimmers you are looking at have swum faster than anybody has ever swum before. One of those swimmers is Ellie Simmons. She holds the world record in this event, and yesterday in this pool, she set a brilliant, brilliant world record. So keep your eye on the swimmer in lane 7 from Boldmere, Ellie Simmons. But now we have the first swimmer coming into the final 25 meters of this event.
It is Jessica Jane Applegate. The time she is looking for to qualify for the Rio Paralympics is 2:26. It's gone by for Jessica Jane Applegate. Amy Marin is looking for 2:39.70. It's going to be very close. Amy Marin, 2:39, and it is 2:39.12 for Amy Marin, and that is inside the qualification standard. Well, Amy Marin just dipping under there. She will be delighted with that one. And let's have a look now. We'll come back to Ellie Simmons, the world record holder. Can she get inside that time? Our world record stands at 3 minutes dead. She's going to be outside that. And Ellie Simmons in now in at 3:08.92. But look at that point score. That is the highest point score of anyone in that heat.
Coming home in lane 9 then, ladies and gentlemen, it is Drew Stables from Copeland. We'll see where she stops the clock. 335 points for Stables. That was the 4th heat. We await confirmation of the results, but put your hands together to put herself in contention for the Rio Games. A qualification time for lane 5 for Romford Town for Amy Marin. Brilliant, brilliant swimming.
And a great swim from Amy Marin, and the highest points total for Ellie Simmons, 865 points. The result is confirmed, and Ellie Simmons also under that consideration time. Well done, Ellie Simmons and Amy Marin.
Well, we've had 3 events so far today, and even more swimmers making the qualification standard. As it looks, the team's going to be in great shape for Rio, Paul.
It is absolutely fantastic. Great, great swims we've seen this morning, and more to come. We can move on now to heat number 5.
Two qualification standard times swum in heat 4. Let's see what the guys can do in heat 5. Swimming in lane 0 from Wickham, Katie Crowhurst. Neil Labuda from Germany in lane 1. From City of Aberdeen in lane 2, Tony Shaw. Louise Fidesz of Hatfield swims in lane 3. And from Newcastle in lane 4, Bethany Firth. Regan Doig is in lane 5 from Perth City. And Danielle Harton of Basildon is in lane 6. From Skipton in lane 7, it's Abby Hampshire. And in lane 8, from Clevedon, Harriet Dickinson.
Well, anyone who was here yesterday and last night would have seen a world record swim from the swimmer in lane number 4. That's Bethany Firth, representing Newcastle. And could we be on for something special again today? Bethany Firth leading at the moment. If she is going to challenge world record held by Shabalina of Russia, 221.33. She needed to be over in 106.32. She's 106.62, but very, very close, Dave. It could be on for something special here.
Well, she's certainly in contention. 75 meters to go. She is now on the breaststroke length and going great guns in lane 4. In second place to her left is Regan Doig, and in third to her right is Louise Fidesz. That's an interesting battle for second for them, but it is all about the athlete in first place at the moment. Bethany Firth, 1 world record already this week, and she has 50 meters here to see if she can reach another. Let's get behind her, everyone.
Well, here comes Bethany Firth now. She did hold the world record, but she lost it to the Russian swimmer, Shabalina. She would love to get the world record back. It does stand at a time of 221.33. It's going to be very, very close for Bethany Firth, but maybe just outside 221.33 for Bethany Firth. Just about outside there, 223.97, but it is inside the qualification standard for Bethany Firth. So another great swim from the swimmer representing Newcastle. Perth City's Regan Doig in second position there, 236.86, and Louise Fidesz has had a good week, 238.96 for the Hatfield swimmer.
In lane 1, Neil Labuda, the German swimmer, is just coming through, and touching back in lane 7 is Skipton's Abby Hampshire. Next to touch back will be Harriet Dickinson in lane 8. She has about 5 meters to go. Let's clap at home, ladies and gents. And Katie Crowhurst in lane 0. Strong finish from her in the green cap. And she stops the clock in 3:15.75 for 403 points in heat 5, the final heat of the women's 200 meters individual medley. Well, in the final 2 heats, 3 qualifying standard times. In third place in that heat, Louise Fidesz, 703 points. Regan Doig, 731. But in first place, 946 points and a qualification standard time for Bethany Firth. Well, the summary is up on the board. Confirmation of Bethany Firth, Jessica Jane Applegate, and Ellie Simmons making up the top three there. We'll go all the way down to 30 for the people who are in the finals later. But Paul, 3 qualification standard times, some brilliant swims, and just once again, great stuff happening here. And these guys are very, very lucky to witness it.
Yeah, 3 swimmers who have won medals in World Championships before and in Paralympic Games. So very, very good that they have achieved those qualification standards. GB team for Rio looking very, very good. So hopefully some of these schools will go back and will be supporting the swimmers if they are selected for Rio a little bit later in the year. September, that's the time you should be looking out for these swimmers, and you can say, well, I was there at Toll Cross when they qualified for those games.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pool deck the athletes for the men's 200 meters individual medley. Heat 1. Lots of action to look forward to in this men's 200 individual medley then. 8 heats in total. But this is heat number 1. 3 swimmers, starting with lane 3 from Nova Centurion, Benjamin Rees. In lane 4 from Rotherham Metro, a great start there for William Whitehead. And from Bournemouth College in lane 5, Leo McCrea.
Yeah, we've seen these swimmers in the water already this morning. Leo McCrea swam in that first heat of the 50 freestyle, so it's a second swim for him today. And again, range of classifications there, remember, in physical disability, S1 to 10, S1 being the more severe disability, so the lower the number, the more severe the disability. So it's the man with the lesser disability who is ahead at the moment, as you might expect.
Yes, William Whitehead in the white cap in lane 4. In the middle of the pool is leading, going into the backstroke. In second place, as it stands, Benjamin Rees. He's in lane 3, closest to you, and Leo McCrea has actually overtaken him on this backstroke length. He is furthest away for you in the blue cap in lane 5. So let's show them some support as they come to the second turn here, ready for their breaststroke length. Windy No, Lynn Lithgow, St. Rosa Lima, where are you? You've gone quiet on us. Get behind these swimmers. The first to touch the second time round into the breaststroke length is William Whitehead, 150.26.
So there, 3 swimmers, all having slightly different styles of backstroke, suiting their disability there. William Whitehead just with the use of one arm there. Leo McCrea, well, he has a form of dwarfism. And Benjamin Rees, he was using a double arm backstroke, so flinging both his arms back at the same time. Not really using his legs much, but look at that, Leo McRae, the young man, he's coming up alongside William Whitehead. We could be on for a good race here in this first heat of the men's 200 IM.
So we want you both to pick a winner and give them your full support. If you're going to be supporting William Whitehead, you need to get behind him right now. And if you think Leo McRae is going to take it, then you need to start shouting his name. Whitehead is the first to touch, and he will go into the final 50 meters in the lead, the freestyle 50, where they give it absolutely everything to get to the line first. So, in heat number 1 here, in 3rd place currently is Benjamin Rees. 2nd place, Leo McRae with a lot of work to do. And William Whitehead approaching the final 25 meters here in the lead of heat number 1.
Well, he is using just one arm there, and he's trying to stay ahead of Leo McRae. We could be on for a great finish here. Give them a cheer as they come into the closing stages here. Look at the speed of Leo McRae. His arms are flinging over there, trying to catch the water, trying to get alongside William Whitehead, but Whitehead will hold on. And a great finish there for William Whitehead. He just holds off the challenge of Leo McRae. But Leo McRae, that was a fantastic finish there from the young man. And 2 youngsters, of course, in this one. William Whitehead, just 11 years of age.
Well, a great show from both of those, but still one swimmer in the water, and he needs a strong finish here, ladies and gentlemen, so let's help him home. The man in lane 3 from Nova Centurion in the green cap is Benjamin Rees. The final 5 meters of his individual medley, and he touches back in 4:27.99. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the swimmers in 200 individual medley, heat number 1. Well, we await confirmation of the results, and it's actually confirmed that despite that great swim, William Whitehead has been disqualified. And so the winner of the heat is Leo McRae, and in 2nd place with 207 points is Benjamin Rees. A great cheer there for Ben Rees. In fact, the support for all of the Nova Centurion swimmers has been fantastic all week, Paul.
As it continues today, the Green Army. Yeah, very good stuff there. That's what we'd like to hear. As these swimmers exit the water, we can now move on to heat number 2.
After that action-packed start, then we move on to heat number 2. And in lane 1 from Gateshead and Wickham, we have William Hardy. No swimmer in lane 2. And in lane 3 from Bristol, it's Nils Rem. From Leicester Penguins in lane 4, Connor Freeman. And in lane 5 from Wirral Metro, Matthew Harding. Bolton Metro's Luke Batty is in lane 6. And from Germany in lane 7, Simon Pradanovic. From Chalfont in lane 8, Maximilian Tulloch.
Well, it is maybe Luke Batty will take them into the first turn there. He does in 42.82, very close between Batty and Harding there in 6 and 5. This is an international event as well. You'll see swimmers from a number of countries here. And one of the German swimmers, Simon Pradanovic, is in 4th place at the minute. He is in lane number 7. So, again, have a look at some of the styles of these swimmers, some of the techniques. They have got different disabilities, and they're just using the limbs that they do have and the power that they do have to make sure that they propel themselves through the water as much as possible there. See the leader at the moment, very, very smooth on the backstroke, Luke Batty. Just with the use of one arm, limited use of his right arm there, but he's doing pretty well, Luke Batty, and he's staying ahead of the rest of the field. Big lead that he has over the German swimmer, Simon Pradanovic, but we saw last time the breaststroke leg was pretty decisive because it really changed things about, but it doesn't look like Luke Batty's going to be caught this time. Looking very good so far.
Certainly is, but the breaststroke can be a leveler. Keep your eye out for Nils Rem in lane 3, though. He is having an excellent swim so far. But here we go into the breaststroke leg. All of the swimmers in pretty black caps, quite hard to differentiate between them. So we'll give you a rundown again. You're looking out for William Hardy in lane 1, Rem in lane 3, Freeman is in lane 4, Harding lane 5, Batty lane 6, Pradanovic lane 7, and Tulloch in lane 8. And they are coming up to the final turn, and it is on. The last 50 is going to be tight for who is going to take this second heat.
And Luke Batty, another one of the youngsters, has just been overtaken there by Niels Rem from Bristol. Come on, get them home now, people. Let's give them a big cheer here. And Luke Batty, he has led for most of this race. He's just been overtaken by Niels Rem. But look at Simon Pradanovic coming back, the German swimmer, the swimmer in the SM7 class. You'll see the classifications on your scoreboard, and what a really strong finish here from the swimmer from Germany, and it looks like Pradanovic will take that one. He does in 3:21.02. Luke Batty, he led for a long time, but the young man from Bolton Metro has to be content with second position in terms of touching the wall. And Matthew Harding, a good points total for Wirral Metro's Matthew Harding, 460.
Points totals creeping up then, as we'd expect in that second heat. A good swim from Luke Batty, but Pradanovic showing his experience there. The German coming through on that final 50-meter freestyle to post the fastest time. Confirmation of the results then. Matthew Harding with the highest points total, 460 for the Wirral Metro man. Gates and Wickham's William Hardy in third place with 366. And from Germany, Simon Pradanovic takes second with 442 points in 200 individual medley, heat number 2. And now it's time for heat 3. Swimming in heat 3 then, from Chelsea and West Kensington in lane 0, it's Leo Johnson. From Caradon in lane 1, Matthew Clowes. Lachlan Macbeth of Highland swims in lane 2. And from Portsmouth in lane 3, Alexander Goodman. Finley Middleton from Mount Kelly is in lane 4. And from UEA Norwich in lane 5, Joshua Wells. From Portsmouth in lane 6, Josh Froome. From Orion in lane 7, Scott Hadley. And from Hamilton in lane 8, Lewis Beagrie. Finally in lane 9 from Shrewsbury, Riley Shanahan.
Well, this one promises to be very close in terms of points totals, I think. Very close race as well in prospect. Pick your winner, people. Who do you think is going to have the highest number of points? It is going to be difficult to tell. But at the moment, in front of the field, it looks like it's Joshua Wells from UAE Norwich. Swimmer from England. We do have a couple of swimmers from Scotland. Lachlan Macbeth, a nice Scottish name there for you in lane number 2 from the Highlands. And Lewis Beagrie in lane number 8 from Hamilton, just down the road. Are the schools supporting the local man from Hamilton? Are they supporting the Highlander, Lachlan Macbeth? Or are they supporting some of the other swimmers here? Good start though, Joshua Wells ahead of Finlay Middleton.
Well, there's certainly one school supporting Finlay Middleton. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been asking for your tweets using the hashtag BPSIM16. And at GavinM17 has said, "Go Finn." All of Year 4 are watching on the whiteboard, so a very warm welcome to Year 4 in Mount Kelly who are watching on the live stream, supporting Finlay Middleton. And at the moment, he is having a good swim in lane 4. He was out at the halfway point in 125.89, which was good enough for second place.
And he's looking like he is moving into first place, possibly. Finlay Middleton in lane number 4. It is very, very close. And it is Finlay Middleton, 224.10. Lewis Beagrie, the local man from Hamilton, in second, 224.25. And it looks like Finlay Middleton is struggling to stay on pace with Lewis Beagrie, because Lewis Beagrie is gone really fast. He's the man in the SM10 class. So he has a lesser disability than Finlay Middleton, who's doing very, very well indeed, swimming with just the use of that one arm there. He's not going to catch Lewis Beagrie though. Lewis Beagrie from Hamilton will take that one in 302.19. A bit of support for him in the crowd. Finlay Middleton bangs that wall and looks across. He has finished in second place, but it's a good points total for Finlay Middleton. And that time of 3:06.56, an improvement by Finlay Middleton of 10 seconds. And an improvement for Lewis Beagrie of 22 seconds.
Provisionally, the highest points total though, Alexander Goodman, 499, still yet to break that 500-point barrier. As we await the official results, the man from Portsmouth came home in 3:13 dead to achieve that, the SM swimmer on 499 points. But do keep the tweets coming in, ladies and gentlemen. We've just heard from Charlotte Henshaw on Twitter, once again in support of the Green Army, the Nova Centurion supporters in the house. Keep the noise going. And what about our 3 schools? Where are you, Windy No? Oh, you've arrived. You can be louder than that. At the moment, it's the teachers making more noise than the pupils. What about Lynn Lithgow? Hello, Lynn Lithgow and St. Rosalima. Oh, we've got 2 groups of St. Rosalima. Maybe we should do the one group against the other. Who do we think's the loudest? Right, so if you are the group from St. Rosalima who is closest to the starting swimmers now, I need you to say hello to me. Oh, that was quite good. Over on the far side, say hello to me. Paul, who do you think was louder? You've got better ears than me.
Oh, difficult to call, difficult to call. I think we need to try it again.
Okay, let's try it again. By the starting block, I need you to make some noise in 3, 2, 1.
Well, that was good, that was good.
It was good. And over on the far side in 3, 2, 1. That is brilliant, and all of you supporters in between need to take an example from the St. Rosalima guys as we take a look at the results. Alexander Goodman there confirmed 499 points in first place. Finlay Middleton of Mount Kelly 431 in second, and Scott Hadley 415 in third. And now it is time for heat number 4. In we go with heat 4 then. In lane 0 from Isle of Man, Benjamin Granger. City of Newport, Ellis Underwood in lane 1. From Littlehampton in lane 2, Caleb Grace. Aaron Maddox from Ealing swims in lane 3. In lane 4 from Staines, Matthew Rishworth. And from Croydon in lane 5, Oladaisi Adefisan. From City of Newport in lane 6, it's Liam Walsh. Connor Boyfield goes in lane 7 from Boston. Connor Lockwood in lane 8 from Woking. And on the outside in lane 9 from Inverclyde, Isaac Dunning.
Well, many tweets of support we have had. Grace Maddox has just tweeted in for Aaron Maddox, who goes there in lane number 3. Says, fingers crossed for another final. Go with a number of O's there, Dave. Aaron. Let's see if he can go. He's in lane number 3. And he's in the mix at the moment, but he's behind the likes of Ellis Underwood from Newport in lane number 1, and also in lane number 4, Matthew Rishworth from Staines. Again, Ellis Underwood, SM13 class. That means that he is a swimmer with a visual impairment. He has partial sight, so he won't be able to see many of the swimmers around him. Pretty much swimming his own race there in lane number 1, Ellis Underwood. And Matthew Rishworth is probably coming up on level terms with him now. Aaron Maddox, with that message of support, he is probably in 3rd place, but it's very tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swimmers all in a row fighting for 3rd position. But the top 2 are going head to head here. It looks like Ellis Underwood and Matthew Rishworth fighting it out for the lead.
Ellis Underwood, yes, in 1st place. Matthew Rishworth in 1st place, and he'll have a strong final 50 as well. But Ellis Underwood looking to put the hammer down and catch him. Who will take 1st place in this 4th heat? At the moment, it's all about the man in lane 4 from Staines, Matthew Rishworth, inside the final 20 meters. But Ellis Underwood from Newport fighting hard in lane 2. This is going to go down to the wire here, this 4th heat in the individual medley. Who will it be, Underwood or Rishworth? Oh, just. Underwood in the end, 245.67 against 245.79, just 0.12 of a second in it. Great racing again here in these individual medley heats. A brilliant comeback there from Ellis Underwood in the final 50 meters. Last to touch back will be Isaac Dunning from Inverclyde. Back he comes in 3:15.02 for 322 points.
Another good swim in lane 0, Benjamin Granger, the Isle of Man. Supporters always here. A small but enthusiastic band of supporters there, Dave.
Certainly are. That flag has been draped over the entire time, and a very, very warm welcome to you as we look at the results. Aaron Maddox there in 1st place, 501 points. Matthew Rishworth from Staines, 482 in 2nd, and Adefisan, 425 points in 3rd. It is now time for Heat 5. Off we go then, heat number 5, and in lane 0 from Watford, Louis Hines. Joshua Monaghan-Coombs from Saxon Crown goes in lane 1. The Frenchman Nathan Melee goes in lane 2. And from Shrewsbury in lane 3, Tom Piggott. Thomas Brown from Burnley Bobcats goes in lane 4. And City of Hereford's Sasha Kindred in lane 5. Cameron Verncombe, the 13-year-old from Caradon, is in lane 6, and City of Salford's Jack Sheffield is in lane 7. In lane 8 from Winchester, Arthur Morley, and from East Lothian in lane 9, Christian Buchanan.
We've seen the youngsters here swimming. Now we have one of the most experienced men in Paralympic swimming. It's Sasha Kindred, representing City of Hereford. He swims in the SM6 class, and he goes in lane number 5. Sasha Kindred has already been to 5 Paralympic Games. He's trying to go for his 6th Games. He hasn't achieved the qualification standard yet. This is a big chance for Sasha Kindred in lane number 5. We will keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on the clock. 2:42.65 is the standard that Sasha Kindred would like to achieve, and he is doing well so far. 1:17.16 at the halfway stage for Sasha Kindred. Bang on course.
Yes, Sasha Kindred in lane 5. He's in that yellow cap just behind Thomas Brown, who's in lane 4. Keep your eye on him, ladies and gentlemen. 5 Paralympic Games, 12 Paralympic medals, and aiming for a 6th Games in Rio in 2016. And doing well on this breaststroke length here. The man in lane 5. So it's Brown in lane 4 will take the turn first. Let's take a look at this time from Kindred then, inside the final 50 meters. That's a good, strong turn as well. The time he's looking for is 2:42.65.
Well, here comes Sasha Kindred now. Can he hold on to this time here? 2:42.65. He's slightly off pace for his own British record, but can he get inside the 2:42.65? It's a good swim from Thomas Brown, a good swim from Verncombe, but here comes Sasha Kindred. Let's keep an eye on the clock. It's going to be very close for Kindred, and it is 2:42.88. It's just slipped by for Sasha Kindred by 0.2 of a second. Oh my goodness. It was agonizingly close for Sasha Kindred, but surely he will progress to the final tonight, because look at that points total, Dave. 924. That just shows you how good that swim was.
Yes, 924 points for Sasha Kindred. It also shows how high the standards are for qualification for the Rio Paralympics. Big expectation on this British team, but some excellent swims there. We have had confirmed disqualifications in this heat. Lane 6, Cameron Verncombe, and lane 1, Joshua Monaghan-Coombs. But confirmation of the results at the top. Louis Hines, 523 points. Thomas Brown from Burnley Bobcats, 533. And in first place, that huge points total, 924 points for Sasha Kindred. It's now time for heat number 6. Off we go then, heat number 6, and in lane 0 from City of Peterborough, Jackson Simmons. From Worcester in lane 1, Matthew Redfern. No swimmer in lane 2, and in lane 3 is the Australian Liam Shooter. From Swansea Aquatics in lane 4, Jack Thomas. Lane 5 is empty, so in lane 6 from City of Sunderland, Jack Bridge. Derwentside's Matthew Gibson is in lane 7, and no swimmer in lane 8. Finally, on the outside in lane 9 from Swim Trafford, Craig McNeil.
Everyone kind of split up there. Spare lanes in between pairs of swimmers there. Jack Thomas first to the wall, 29.81 for Jack Thomas. He has not achieved qualification standard just yet. Jack Thomas from Swansea Aquatic, former British record holder in this one. Won a Commonwealth Games medal right here in 2014 for the Welsh team. Goes over in a good pace, 105.57. Jack Thomas doing well so far.
Over the halfway stage then, we've had more tweets coming in. Simpson Primary pupils are having a great time supporting all the swimmers here at the British Paris Swimming International event. A very warm welcome to you at Simpson Primary. And also, we've not yet said hello to West Calder High. Hello, West Calder High. Great to have you here. We hope you're enjoying the swimming, and we hope you're going to get behind these athletes as we come into the final 50 meters of heat number 6 in this men's 200 individual medley. And out front at the moment from Swansea Aquatics is Jack Thomas in lane 4.
Oh, Jack Thomas, let's help him home. See if he can get to that qualification time. 2:16.49 is the time he is looking for. He might just be outside that. Can he pull through on the freestyle? Can he just get that last 5 meters? It's going to be tough there for Jack Thomas. 2:16.49 has just slipped by for Thomas. 2:19.46 for the man from Swansea Aquatic. But that's 791 points, Dave, should see him into one of the finals this evening.
Well, if the benchmark scores are anything to go by, 791, we'll see him return later on this evening. Jackson Simmons in lane 0, 237.14. Matthew Redfern, 232.20. Just coming home now in lane 9 is Craig McNeil from Swim Trafford, who stops the clock in 246.23. But heat 6 over already, still 2 heats to come, and of course that final event of the day, which is the men's 150 meters individual medley. Lyndon Longhorn from Durham City will be swimming in that. Definitely worth watching. He's had a great week so far as Lyndon Longhorn, looking to achieve the qualifying standard in that event. And we hope that you're going to stick with us for that. We just heard from Ruth Gordon. Thank you very much for your tweet, Ruth. And Jude Handley as well, who says she's basically supporting Ollie Hind because he has amazing hair. Thank you very much for that, Jude Handley. Official results are up then. We've had a disqualification. Jack Thomas from Swansea Aquatics, that's confirmed in lane 4. So the winner of the race, 6:92, Liam Schluter. Jack Bridge, 6:59. And in third place, Matthew Gibson, 607. It is now time for Heat 7. Here we go then with the penultimate heat in the men's 200 IM. In lane 0 from Germany, Adam Karas. From Hastings in lane 1, Callum Pearson. Carmarthen's Connor Green goes in lane 2. From Warrender, Scott Quinn goes in lane 3. From City of Manchester in lane 4, Thomas Hamer. In lane 5, Kahoro Harazawa from Beckenham. From Nova Centurion goes Ollie Hind in lane 6. And again from Nova Centurion in lane 7, Benjamin Fulston. In lane 8 from Cockermouth, Luke Reason. And in lane 9 from Austria, Andreas Onnea.
Well, a couple of British record holders we have here. Tom Hamer, who swam great yesterday in the 200 freestyle. He goes in lane number 4 in the SM14 class. And Ollie Hind is the SM8 world record holder. He goes in lane number 6. One of those Green Army swimmers from Nova Centurion. Next to his teammate, of course, Benjamin Fulston. We'll see how Ollie Hind can go. He was very close to the world record he holds in the 400 freestyle yesterday. And he's gone out pretty well, 106.40. The leader at the moment, though, Kahuro Harazawa. He had a good swim yesterday. We'll see what he can do in the SM10 class. And watch out for Scott Quinn, the breaststroke specialist. He was down in 6th there at the turn, but he's coming back strongly there. The man from Edinburgh in lane number 3. It's very close as they go into this final turn here. But Harazawa looking great there, 145.60 for Kahuro Harazawa.
He spent a lot of time at the front of his heats as Harazawa had a busy week and looking for a strong finish here, but Thomas Hamer is looking strong outside him in the blue cap, eating up that water behind Harazawa. This is going to be a tight finish at the front of the heat. Just outside them is Scott Quinn, who's going to take third, but who will touch back first? It's looking like Harazawa just in front of Hamer, 217.44 against 217.74. Scott Quinn in third. Let's see what Ollie Hine comes back in. 886 points for the Nova Centurion man, closely followed by Fulston, his teammate. Connor Green, then Luke Reason, Callum Pearson and Adam Karras. And here comes Andreas Onea, the Austrian, in lane 9. Touches back in 244.03 for 634 points.
And just looking at those results there, well, the highest points total was Ollie Hind, 886 points. And that time of 2:26.74 is inside the qualification standard for his class. So Ollie Hind inside the standard. But what about that swim at the front of the field there? 846 points for Kahuro Harazawa. And that time of 2:17.44 is a new British record for Kahuro Harazawa. And what an excellent swim it was too for the young man from Beckenham. Fantastic swims there for those two. The result is confirmed on your scoreboard. Hind in first place ahead of Harazawa with Hamer in third. We can move now on to heat number 8.
Well, an action-packed Heat 7 with a qualification standard and a new British record. Let's see what Heat 8 has to offer. In lane 0 from Rotherham Metro, Joseph Sears from Carnegie. In lane 1, Oliver Carter. Wai Lok Tang from Hong Kong swims in lane 2. And again from Hong Kong. In lane 3, Tsun Sang Lee. From Australia, Sean Russo goes in lane 4. And in lane 5, Wakit Choi from Hong Kong. In lane 6, from City of Sheffield, James Crisp. From Hong Kong, in lane 7, Ka Chun Hui. From Jersey, in lane 8, Sol Bressat. And finally, in lane 9, on the outside, from Kingston upon Hull, Liam Spence.
Well, again, swimmers from all over the world here. 4 Hong Kong swimmers. And 1 Australian in the centre of the pool. And James Crisp in lane number 6. The SM9 swimmer. Made a qualification standard in 100 metres backstroke. And he has been around almost as long as Sasha Kindred, not quite as long. Made his debut for the GB team 19 years ago, James Crisp. So still holding on, still performing his very, very best. That's the man with the red cap there from City of Sheffield. Sean Russo, though, the Australian, with a lead at the moment going into the end of the breaststroke leg.
Certainly has. We've had some great tweets in as well. Kerry Lewis says a very successful meet for Rebecca Lewis from Rhondda Cynon-Taf. She's very proud. Bendy Gerdig and also London Disability SC, who've been great throughout this week on Twitter, have congratulated Kahuro Harazawa on his new British record in the 200 IM. But right now it is all about heat number 8 here. Sean Russo of Australia powering through the final 25 minutes. Wakit Choi is finishing strong strongly as well. Outside him in the white cap in lane 5, but there'll be no catching. Sean Russo, the Australian in the green and gold, is going to win the final heat. It's going to be a good time too. 2:17.81. Waki Choi, 773 points for the man from Hong Kong. Third place, Sun Sang Lee, his compatriot. And James Crisp from City of Sheffield gets 737 points for his effort. Still 3 swimmers to touch back. Lane 9, Liam Spence. In lane 8, Sol Bressett stops the clock in 2:39.88. And then finally, Ollie Carter, 2:41.49 for 522 points. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all 8 of the heats completed. Please put your hands together for all of the swimmers in the men's 200 meters individual medley. Well, 4 events so far this morning, Paul. Each of them we've achieved a qualification standard time in from at least one swimmer and a new British record too. That's not a bad return.
That was very, very good swims there in that previous heat there. Kahuro Harazawa with that British record that stood for a while, that one, so it's a long-standing British record that he has taken. 2011 was the last time that was broken, so that is a very impressive performance as well. We do have the results of heat number 8 confirmed on your scoreboard. We do have a disqualification, and it is Oliver Carter who has been disqualified. But the top 3 are confirmed as Wakit Choi, James Crisp, and Sean Russo.
We'll be having the summary of results up on the board shortly as well. The top 30, remember, will go through to this evening's final, which will give them an opportunity, if they've not already done so, to reach the qualification standard and get up on that podium in the mixed classification individual medley. Sasha Kindred then, the top point scorer, 924 points, but still a little bit of work to do if he's going to reach his 6th Paralympic Games. Ollie Hind inside the qualification standard for his 886 points. And Kahuro Harazawa, 3rd place in the current standings with that new British record in his classification. We make our way down to the top 30 there. Tom Piggott from Shrewsbury just about hanging on to a place in the finals. We will have 3 finals of 10 swimmers. 31 to 40 then. Christian Buchanan, 420 points there from East Lothian, into the top 50. Still 1 event to come, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to need all your support for it. It is going to be the men's 150 meters individual medley. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the pool deck the competitor for the men's 150 meters individual medley. Men's 150 meters individual medley, Heat 1. Here we go then, the only man in the pool is from Durham City. It's Lyndon Longhorn, and he has 3 lengths of this 50-meter pool in the 150 meters individual medley. Paul, it is tough work out there on your own, and he needs the support of everyone here at Tollcross, doesn't he?
We need lots of noise for Lyndon Longhorn. He is the British record holder in this one, and he set that record exactly a year ago in this very pool. here in Toll Cross. Can he do it again? He's going to need everyone's help here. It is very, very tough to swim this on your own. It's 3 lengths of the pool. We have the backstroke, which he is just about to finish now. He will move on to the breaststroke, and he will finish on front crawl. So Lyndon Longhorn, 52.73. Well, he is around about a 1/10 of a second faster than he was when he set that record. So he is on schedule. Keep that noise going for Lyndon Longhorn. He will be able to hear you, certainly on the breaststroke leg. He wants that encouragement. He's halfway through now, almost on the breaststroke. It is a long way for Lyndon Longhorn. Those of you that have swum in a 50-meter pool know exactly how long it is. And Lyndon Longhorn, of course, affected in all 4 of his limbs, but he is giving it a good go at the moment, Dave.
He certainly is. He's over the halfway point as well, the halfway point of the race and the halfway point of his second length. This breaststroke length, 2:53.95 was his entry time going in. Can he get inside it? His first length was 52.73, and the clock is approaching 2 minutes now as he goes into his final turn for his final length, ladies and gentlemen. Lyndon Longhorn, less than 50 meters to go here in this men's 150 IM.
Well, this is your last chance this morning to make some noise here for Lyndon Longhorn. He swam in many races this week on his own. It's very, very tough. Let's give him some encouragement here. Coming into the last 25 meters, the final action of this morning's session. Can he get under that entry time of 2:53? That's his season's best. He needs to be under 2:50 to get his own record. But let's see if he can get that season's best first. 2:53.95. Come on, Lyndon. In you go. 2:54.21. Not far away at all from the man from Durham City.
We'll have official confirmation shortly, but ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the competitor in the men's 150 meters IM, Lyndon Longhorn. Result confirmed then, 2:54.21 for Lyndon Longhorn. Congratulations to him, but still a little bit of work to do before he moves on to the final later on today. But Paul, let's reflect on a brilliant, brilliant morning here. As we've said before, more qualification standards, the team growing by the race, and a new British record for Kahura Harazawa.
It was superb swimming there from Harazawa in the 200 individual medley. Of course, remember those British records in the sprint events earlier, the 50 freestyle guys. Well, anyone that's coming back tonight to watch that 50 freestyle, it should be an absolute cracker. And if you can't make it back tonight, tune in on the live stream. It should be worth watching. Some fantastic races in prospect in the final session.
Certainly worth coming back for. At St. Rosalima School, if you could stay exactly where you are, please. And officials, thank you very much. You may now leave the pool deck. Thank you very much for joining us this morning then, ladies and gentlemen. The final morning session here at Toll Cross for the British Para-Swimming International Meet 2016. We'll be back later to do it all again to crown more champions on that podium and maybe even see more records come tumbling down here at Toll Cross. If you can't join us in the venue, make sure you watch us online. The hashtag is BPSIM16 and you can watch all of the action unfold live on BritishSwimming.com. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to speaking to you this evening.